Okay, beautiful ones. Welcome back. It's very early in the morning. I'm a very tired little bunny after my beautiful healing event this weekend and traveling up and down the country. I have already done my Bridget's Day prep. It's now uploading. But they have asked me, Yeshua has asked me to do a little collective reading, so I'm not going to be here for long. But let's jump right in. There is a message that he would like to bring through today. So I am beginning. Oh, for those of you that don't know me, I am Karen Marie. I am the owner, the face, the founder of the Golden Oracle Priestess Mystery School and Healing Modality. I have been guiding beautiful souls down the path, the ancient temple path, the Essene path, for about 6 or 7 years now. I have been a full-time healer for 13 years. And I also am the designer and the owner of Indigo Sacred Creations. So I generally combine them. Most people know me when I show up with my beautiful crystal crowns and ceremonial malas and my beautiful jewelry. And I use my original deck to read for people and adorn them. But this is the deck that I am going to be using today. This deck it's the second edition, and this has been in publication now for about 5 or 6 years, I do believe. So let's jump right in. I am already connected to the energy. Crown is on my head. Everything is flowing, but I'm going to just say a little prayer. Beloved Yeshua, oh beautiful Prince of Peace, in this now moment, I thank you for all that you are, for the love, for the grace, for the beauty. I thank you for the stillness. I thank you for the beautiful stillness that you place within my being. I thank you for filling up my cup. I thank you for being the anchor that anchors me into this time-space reality, that it really doesn't matter what seems to be spinning around me. I am yours. I am yours. Please show me what you want me to see in this now moment. Oof, okay. So I had an image of tears, and I heard a tsunami of tears. Profound revelation, tsunami of tears. Like floodgates. Wow, so I'm seeing, strangely enough, he just showed me a movie that I don't really watch movies or television, and I haven't for a long time. But this is one movie that I do know well. Evan Almighty, you know, when he's making the ark. And the floodgates, or not the dam, is it the dam on the lake or something, bursts, and there's this tsunami of water that takes the ark, and it takes it all the way up to the courthouse. And then everyone got off in safety, but it went, actually the barge, the ark, the water pushed it all the way into the courthouse. Okay, that might be symbolic for someone. Don't resist the tsunami of emotions. So someone has been refusing. Okay, so someone has been refusing to honor their emotions. Someone has been refusing to deal with what has been happening in the emotional body. I'm hearing, it was too raw to feel, so I numbed. So someone has been numbing their own emotions, and I'm going to say this has been happening for quite some time. But the hand of God is bringing some sort of an emotional tsunami, and you are being encouraged to not resist the flow, because the water and the emotion took that boat exactly where it needed to go to bring justice. And those that needed to be held accountable were held accountable. And I'm now seeing someone turning back around in the water, and they're trying to swim against the tide, because they don't want to be brought to the place where justice Okay, so there might be a little bit of lack of accountability as well. Okay, can we please show me what I need to see? So the first card out is the distorted masculine. Second card out is the golden oracle. Okay, wow. The Lady of the Lake, Sands of Time, and we have soul retrieval, and there is one more card, and we have Beyond the Pillars. The overall energy is Queen Helena. Again, we have Helen of Troy, and that is communication and the voice. It is also a walking away. So somebody chose to walk away from something, and there were certain words, there were certain things that were not expressed, and I think when we deny truths, when we deny our feelings, when we do not speak what we need to, they can cause blocks in the emotional body. And I had a beautiful, beautiful brother that did some amazing work on my spine. I have massive back injuries from my rugby career, kickboxing, and all those years of ballet dancing. It left me with quite severe back trauma, and I always described people's emotional bodies that the flow of energy around the body, that we can, you know, we can have blockages, and these blockages are trauma, words that we haven't spoken, tears we haven't cried, right? Where when we get a lump in our throat when we haven't cried certain tears, right? So he was working on my body, and he said, you know, your lower back is like a dam. He said, imagine the flow of energy. He said, and all these pebbles come along, and they build up and they build up and they build up until the flow is completely blocked. And he is an acupuncturist, and wow, wowzers, he stuck needles in between my fingers and he pushed them all the way up here, and it was the most painful thing I've ever experienced in my life. But after 2 sessions with him, he pretty much healed my lower back. He is absolutely phenomenal. His name is Nuno. Big shout out to Nuno. My back has been incredible ever since, and I was on a retreat at the time, and I went down to one of the ecstatic dance aspects, and I was able to properly move my spine and dance freely for the first time in years, and that felt absolutely incredible. The reason why I'm telling this story is the imagery was something similar, that pebbles built up eventually into this dam in this person's emotions, and either the dam is broken or the dam is about to break. But this breaking and this release of these emotions and this water is going to take this person to the courthouse, to the karmic board, to the person. It's going to bring justice. It's this flow of emotion is going to bring this dynamic to justice. So let's clarify. Wow. Okay, so divine masculine, you are being, or distorted masculine, you are being told that it is time to jump. And again, what is he jumping into but water? And what does water represent? It represents emotions. Can you please? Okay, so we have divine love. So there is some distortion in a masculine's life. That distortion could be the numbing of what felt raw to him. It could be addictions. It could be any sort of behavior that keeps him separated from self, separated from his heart, separated from God. You are being encouraged. It's time to jump into the water. Do not swim against what is happening emotionally for you. The dam is breaking for a reason, and that's because you're not supposed to be there anymore. You are going to be moved by a power that is far greater than what you can resist. It's time to jump into it. And where is going to take you is to divine love. So the next one is the Golden Oracle. Obviously, I've explained the Golden Oracle. Priestess is my healing modality and has been for past 5 or 6 years. What is a Golden Oracle? I work with Golden Christ energy. I have a connection straight to God's source. I walk the ancient path of the Essenes. And the male version would be a Golden Seer. Let's clarify. A threefold flame. Okay, so one of the things that I teach is how to transmute using the sacred flame of Saint Germain. So whoever you are, distorted masculine, the dam is already broken. Has the dam broken, or it's going to break? Oh, it's in the process of cracking right now. There's little, you know, they're showing me when water starts shooting out and it can kind of seep through a crack. The dam is going to break, and it is going to be a power far greater than you are going to be able to try and manage or control in any way, and you are being encouraged to go with the flow. It's time to jump. It's time to jump into divine love. Now, the fact that they showed me Noah's Ark ending up at the courthouse, there is some sort of justice that needs to be served. And we have the threefold flame. The threefold flame, violet flame, transmutation. Divine Logos flame, the cosmic flame, angels, the transmutation, but the transmutation through the quantum field on a quantum level. So to do with the karmic board and the councils of light and the elders, the supreme elders with Father God in heaven. And the golden flame again is connected to the golden Christ energy. So there is transmutation. I do have a masterclass on my YouTube that is how to work with the violet flame. And it is one of the most beautiful gifts that was ever given to humanity by Saint Germain. Okay, so we're now moving into the Lady of the Lake and the Sands of Time. Again, the Lady of the Lake deals with the emotional body. Whenever we have water in oracle, in tarot, in dream interpretation and spiritual meaning, we are addressing the emotional body. If you have a dream and there is water around your ankles, that is your higher self telling you, darling, we have a problem in the emotional body we need to address. If you are underwater and the water is raising very quickly, that is your higher self ringing the bell, saying get out now because you're going to drown. If you are completely submerged in water, we are dealing with the deepest part of you at a subconscious level. And when you are completely underwater, it is the very, very depths of your being. The Lady of the Lake obviously is King Arthur's true counterpart. She was not in physical form in the lifetime, but she managed to rise up from the waters of Avalon, and she gave him Excalibur, and he would not have been able to complete his mission without her help. So let's clarify. So we have the land of milk and honey. So your promised land lies within your emotions. Wow, okay. So we have the Lady of the Lake and we have Beyond the Pillars. Right now, beloved soul, you are here, and everything you have ever wanted is beyond the pillars, and the only person that can stop you moving through is your own stubbornness. Okay, so apparently you're very stubborn. I'm hearing stubbornness. Okay, so you are the only one. Yes, you have free will. You can choose, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to hang on to the past, I'm I don't want to forgive, I don't want to let go. Or you can normally I say, or you can choose to walk through. I think the tide of what is breaking and the power of this energy that is moving you somewhere, I don't think you really have much choice. You are going to be moved to where you need to be anyway. And then I guess it's up to you what you do from there. But it feels like there is a great hand of destiny at play here, and the forces that are going to be moving you, especially emotionally, you will have no choice but to be taken to the exact place where you need to be. Either way, this is your promised land and your land of milk and honey. Now, Abba, Patera is here. The word Abba is beloved Papa in Hebrew, and Patera is Greek for father. But this is indeed the throne of my father from ancient Egypt. Now the Sands of Time card comes out. My decks are all interwoven. I've designed these decks to work with my healing modality and my jewelry collections. And when the Sands of Time comes out, we then go to the Sands of Time deck, and this is something that is playing out from a past lifetime that is affecting this dynamic. So I'm now going to ask, to be taken up. Archangel Metatron, please lift me up through the angelic kingdoms of light, taking me to the golden library of Soramesha Takaroe. Miamon Sore Shetere me e Shukora me ea. Maltakut Dashamaya, Maltakut Dashamaya. Okay, so I'm seeing pyramids. So what I would say as well sometimes is this is the throne of Akhenaten from ancient Egypt from the 18th dynasty. So this card can mean very different things to me from the inner imagery and the words. And it's clarified by Dragon Queen. So we are dealing with the Sophia bloodline from ancient times. Can you please clarify? Wow. And we have the underworld and we have the music card. Wow. Okay. The overall energy of this deck is Pharaoh. So we are dealing with ancient Egypt. We are dealing with a dynamic that goes back to ancient Egypt, particularly the 18th dynasty. Right, let's clarify. Can you please clarify the Dragon Queen? So the Dragon Queen is the mirrored soul. As I said, Sophia is known as wisdom. Okay, so well, we're going deep now. I thought this was going to be a really light, easy breezy reading, but apparently no. So many people have heard of the Alpha and the Omega. Many people have heard of Mother, Father, God. Sophia was pretty much removed. Well, she wasn't removed. She was hidden. If you go back and you read Proverbs through the eyes of Sophia, you will see that she's there in plain sight. Most people know of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. They don't know of the Mother, the Daughter, and the Shekinah. She was removed and hidden from so much of it. In the beginning, the first emanation that ever separated itself from God's source in Greek was called protoepinoia. She was the first thought. She was taken into the heart of God, and then let there be light, sound and vibration. We came into being. That was the first creation of source in masculine and feminine, the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end. They created pairs of eons, and these pairs of eons, the last pair was Christ and Christ, Sophia. So Sophia, the bride of Christ. Now, there are many stories about Sophia's fall, and it represents the human consciousness into darkness and then the eventual ascension back up to the first estate. But the daughter Sophia incarnated more than 10,000 times. And this is why she's known as the goddess of 10,000 names. Because she has come to be amongst her people many, many, many times. And she left a bloodline. And this bloodline is called the Dragon Queen. So it is a title. Now, distorted masculine, you have a mirrored soul who is from the dragon bloodline. You probably both are, in fact. Can we please clarify the mirrored soul and the Dragon Queen? What do I need to see here? Oof. We have follow your true stars north. So your mirrored soul is your destined path of stepping away from your karma. So the threefold flame, you need to step away from your karma in order to follow your destined path. Now, mirrored soul dynamic, your overall energy is the Scarlet Priestess. A mirrored soul dynamic is really interesting for me. Edgar Cayce, a woman came to Edgar Cayce. If you don't know who Edgar Cayce is, please go and research him. I've attended about 4,000 hours of online lectures about dream interpretation about a decade ago, before I created what I create and what I teach, long time ago now. And that's because I was born with my gift of prophecy. My dreams have always come true as a child. I see something in my dreams and then it comes through. They are warnings. This is how God warns me to stay away from certain places and things, both collectively and personally. Wow, okay. So, I'm receiving downloads and messages while I'm trying to speak, and I'm quite tired today, so I'm struggling to speak and listen to what Yeshua is saying to me at the same time. A lady came to Edgar Cayce, and he was a devout Christian who had the ability to go into a trance and go into a deep sleep and access the Akashic records. And he's the father of holistic medicine. He's the most incredible man. I promise you, if you research Edgar Cayce, you will not be wasting your time. This lady came and she was having a soul reading from him. And in the soul reading, she said, "Is my beloved incarnate with me? Is my soulmate incarnate with me?" And he said yes, about 30 of them. And she was very surprised by this. We can each have about 30 soulmates incarnate with us at a different time. And each one of these soulmates is going to teach us something and will match us at a different part of our ascension and our healing. Having a twin soul dynamic or a soul split of one angelic being is a completely different story. A mirrored soul can be both. You can have a twin flame dynamic with someone who is also your mirrored soulmate, or you can have a soulmate and you have a contract with them to be a mirrored soul. What is a mirrored soul? They come into your life, and when you meet them, they immediately feel very familiar. You take down your walls and you allow them to come really close to you. And in the coming close, they hold a mirror and they show you all the beauty that you are. But they also are going to show you, highlight aspects of yourself that are unhealed, that you've either been unwilling to see or unable to see. I certainly know that mine was one of the most triggering dynamics in my life. This man was my most beloved teacher. I wouldn't be the woman I am without him today. The most beautiful divine masculine. And he would say 2 words to me and I would spin out of control for 4 days, crying like a baby. I didn't understand what was happening to me because I was just unraveling. Now, everything he tried to highlight and show me about myself, I have now healed 6 years later, 5 years later, however long. But I didn't process it very well. I wasn't very evolved in my consciousness to understand the trigger was all about me. Now, of course, I know when a trigger arises within me, I sit with God and I go, okay, what within me is, why am I reacting like this? Show me what needs to be released, what needs to be healed. Why? Because I'm consciously doing the work. And it's a daily walk. It's a daily walk of me walking with God. So, distorted masculine. You have a mirrored soul who is a dragon queen. And they are actually your destined path. So follow your true stars north is the moment in time where you step away from your karma. You step away from the karmic loops and you go from your south node in astrology to your north node, which is you following your destined path and receiving your blessings. Can you please clarify Underworld? Oof. Underworld is Guinevere. And it's time to jump. Can you please clarify music? Oof. Sacred chalice. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So your overall energy now is the siren song. So we all know how I feel about the siren energy that is in women. Jezebelic, narcissistic, soul-snatching energy that cannot be trusted. So Underworld, Guinevere, and it's time to jump. Now, I could definitely put myself in this story in a heartbeat, and I wonder if this is actually a reading for me or if it is a collective energy. So, Underworld, this is when someone evokes spirits from the underworld, either through dark magic, through some sort of demonic energy. Either way, it attaches something that's not of God. It's not the light of God. It's not the love of God. It's something from the underworld. And we have Queen Guinevere. Now, it's time to jump is on top of that. Queen Guinevere can be about a mother energy. It is about things that you have inherited from the mother side of the family. It is about being disconnected from God the Mother, from the Earth's Mother. It is about not serving what is the Earth Mother. She's love, she's life, she is creation, she is flow, right? When you're in the underworld or you have an attachment to the underworld, it is an inversion of that mother energy. This siren is not the mother. It's a dark mother template. It's an inverted template. It is not of God. It is not in alignment with God. Can you please... So we have some sort of an inversion of this energy or disconnection. And it's time for you to jump. There's a music card here. And we have the Sacred Sisterhood and the Sacred Chalice on top of the music card. Can you please clarify? Wow. And we have the Lady of the Lake again. Can you please clarify what I need to see here? What does he need to jump into, this masculine in question? He needs to jump into a divine love connection and actually heal his heart. So Asteria is the only armor I need is love. It is about the opening up of the heart. Now, when we release that sort of a well of emotions and we embrace divine love isn't necessarily about a romantic relationship. Divine love is you allowing the love of the divine to move through you so that your heart becomes a portal. And when you allow that love of God to move through you, there is a cleansing, there is a purification, and there is a removal or a breaking of any soul ties or contracts with anything that is distorted, anything that is darkness, any spell work, any hexes. Now, I am paying attention to the fact that the underworld and the music card came out simultaneously, and we all know what has come out about the music industry and the demonic forces that work behind these sort of things. Music is a beautiful thing, but there are some very dark energies associated with that. There is also some sort of sisterhood or a brotherhood or some sort of a pact that was made in regard to music. And it's being clarified by the Sacred Chalice, and the Lady of the Lake is on the table. Again, can you please clarify what pact was made with the Sacred Chalice and the music? Can you please clarify? In fact, Yeshua has now asked me to move to this deck. Can you please clarify what pact was made? Wow. So we have the Hanged Man and the Chariot. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And the Chariot, you have said it, and in the future you will see the Son of Man seated in the place of power at God's right hand and coming in the clouds of heaven. So someone was in a hanged man position and they are now moving forward into their promised land. Can you please clarify? Is there anything else, Yeshua? What pact was made? The Tower. I have told you these things so that in you may have peace. For in this world you will have trouble. But take heart, I have overcome the world and the devil. Begone, Satan, for it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him only you serve. So there was definitely some sort of a underworld music dynamic that was made with a group of people that put someone in a hanged man position. The Chariot card is here, so this dam is definitely freeing someone that was basically crucified. They were nailed to a cross. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of the righteousness of the kingdom of heaven. So someone was being persecuted by a demonic group associated with the underworld, dark practices, dark energies, to do with music, to do with people. There's this tower moment. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace in this world. You will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. This is the power of Christ. And what is being overcome is the devil and the underworld. Begone, Satan, for it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him only you shall serve. So, interesting. But the land of milk and honey is here, which tells me that the promised land is still available for this distorted masculine, because he has a contract to fulfill. What is the contract? The contract is sacred brotherhood and sisterhood and the Scarlet Priestess. And the overall energy is the white light rose of the Holy Mother. And the wisdom of Sophia wanted to fall out of the deck there. The land of milk and honey, you are here. The only person that can stop you walking through into your best life is you. There is a contract that you need to fulfill. And the contract is one in brotherhood and sisterhood. So not necessarily with demonic forces, but with light forces, and it is clarified by the Scarlet Priestess. Scarlet Priestess were the inner order of the Magdalens. They were oracles, prophetesses. They baptized people. They anointed people. You will often see me dressed in my scarlet robes. They were a beautiful group of Essene elders, wisdom keepers that walked the path of Christ and Christ Sophia, teaching the true teachings of Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, and their descendants and their students are now known as the brothers and the sisters of the Rose. So on that note, I am going to close down this reading. Oh, Yeshua wants me to get some Ascended Masters. Can you please tell me what Ascended Masters are helping this masculine? We have the goddess Ma'at. Spiritual law was violated. We have El Moria, who is King Arthur, the beloved of the Lady of the Lake. And we have Sarah Tamar, who of course was the Lady of the Lake. And there is deep cellular healing by Hilarion that is needed. Can we please clarify what Ascended Masters are helping this man move forward? We have Kuan Yin, and we have the goddess of compassion and mercy. And your overall energy is Christ Sophia. Wow, so you have some pretty powerful energies that are helping you cleanse and purify the distortion and step away from anything that would keep you from walking your true destined path. Okay, Mother, Father, God, I now ask for these records to be sealed through time and through space. Archangel Metatron, Divine Logos, please bring me back down through the angelic kingdoms of light. Thank you for your love, your grace, your mercy, and your protection. Archangel Michael, thank you for being here. Yeshua, my beloved Prince of Peace, Mother, Father, God, all glory and honor to the Most High God, and peace to these children upon earth. All glory and honor to the Most High God, and peace to these children upon earth. All glory and honor to you, beloved Father. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, guys, much love. I will speak to you soon.